Welcome back. The first 100 days of this second Trump administration has thrust major universities into the national spotlight. That includes UW-Madison, the state's flagship campus, and one of the premier research institutes nationwide. The Trump administration has said it's investigating dozens of major universities, including Madison, over its DEI crackdown and university's treatment of Jewish students. And just Friday, President Trump said he's, quote, taking away Harvard's tax-exempt status.
Earlier this month, UW-Madison Chancellor Mnookin signed onto a letter with college leaders from across the country criticizing what they call the Trump administration's unprecedented government and political interference, saying it is now endangering American higher education. Chancellor Mnookin joins us now from Madison. Chancellor, good to see you. Welcome to the show.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me.
Let's start with the nature and spirit of that nationwide letter you signed on to. I'm curious how you would describe the first 100 days of the Trump administration from your perspective.
Well, it's been certainly a whirlwind, and there have been a number of things that cause us concern. The research we do at UW-Madison is such an incredibly important part of, well, frankly, the Wisconsin economy and innovation and invention. And there are a lot of challenges to the funding for that research, and we are concerned about that. We're very concerned, not just for our campus, but for the ability to do the medical research and the life-changing research that's going to bring cures and wonderful things to families all over our state and beyond.
We've seen what happened at Harvard with the administration freezing billions of dollars in federal funding. Do you see that as a cautionary tale on how or if the administration stands up to the Trump administration?
Well, you know, I wouldn't really want to speculate or speak to the precise details of what's happening at other universities. But obviously, yes, we are concerned about our federal funding. We're also concerned about academic freedom and the ability of universities to give students transformative experiences and serve our state.
Let's quickly talk about those two investigations, or the lists at least, that the administration put Madison on. One, as you mentioned, part of a DEI crackdown, what's called the PhD project. The university says that's no longer in use. Another, in terms of the treatment of Jewish students. Have you received any updates from the administration since this initial list went out of these universities?
No, we have not received any updates.
Is that concerning at all, or where does this go next?
Well, the Title VI investigations, there are a great many, and it can take a very long time before you get any next word. With one of them involving the PhD project, that is a small nonprofit that to be candid, I'd never heard of until I read about it in that list, and it is not an organization that we have an active relationship with. The other goes back to a protest that was organized by not by any student organization or anybody even directly connected to our campus, that took place back in October 2023. So needless to say, we take anti-Semitism very seriously, as well as all forms of hate. And we want our campus to be a welcoming place for all of our students. And I believe that we're doing a generally good job of supporting all of our students, including our Jewish students, to have an excellent experience here at UW-Madison. I was
going to say that second warning, so to speak, from the administration claimed in their release from the Education Secretary broadly that Jewish students across the country studying on elite U.S. campuses continue to fear for their safety. Do you see that as a fair characterization?
I don't think that accurately characterizes our campus. I see every day our students, including our Jewish students, flourishing and thriving here. I think if you talked to our leaders of Hillel and Chabad, they would also tell you that, are we perfect? No campus is perfect, but that overall we have a very strong, positive experience for the vast, vast majority of our students on campus, and we're proud of that.
We've seen some back and forth over student visas, at least 27 of them terminated and then reinstated. What's been the impact of that on campus?
Thank you. Yes, you're exactly right. We did have 27 students and recent graduates who were lawfully working in this country face the removal of their records, which in essence means that they can no longer legally be in this country. We're very pleased that all 27 have been reversed.
Have you learned any more clearly why those visas were revoked?
A number of them, it's just very mysterious, to be honest. Some of them had low-level legal infractions, but sometimes we're talking about things like a speeding ticket. So really incredibly minor. And while it's entirely reasonable to expect those studying in our country to follow the laws, I don't think it makes any sense, and I don't think it's right for, you get stopped for a speeding ticket. That shouldn't jeopardize your student status.
Chancellor, we know that Madison is one of the top research universities nationwide. Last year, of the $1.7 billion in research grants, $1 billion came from the federal government. What impact have the cuts in research? What does it look like to date, and what are you preparing for as we move forward?
Yeah, thank you for the question. At this point, we have had a number of grants frozen or eliminated, and in some cases, we don't even fully know why. Those grants can range from topics like a researcher who's studying teens' online behavior and how it affects their mental health, to topics like weather satellites and how we do a better job of detecting fires so that we can prevent them from getting out of control. So we have lost grants across an array of areas, and that is concerning. And we're also concerned about the possibility of more to come.
An incredibly busy moment. UW-Madison Chancellor Jennifer Mnookin. Chancellor, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate the chance to talk.
Coming up, what Wisconsin voters are saying 100 days in. We'll take you to Sauk County, the bellwether county in this battleground state.